When I heard that my mother-in-law was moving in, my husband excitedly told our child, "Mom said she's going to cook for us every day from now on." I said nothing, because the last time my mother-in-law made that promise was 5 years ago. Back then, she stayed for 3 days, complained about her back hurting, and ended up taking my husband's paycheck card. This time, I was ready in advance. She moved in on a Saturday. My husband, Zhou Jianguo, got up at dawn and cleaned the spare bedroom 3 times. I leaned against the bedroom doorframe watching, but didn't say a word. 3 days earlier, my brother-in-law's wife posted a photo of our child's report card in the family group chat, pointing out the math score was only 72. She said we had to sign him up for tutoring. My mother-in-law immediately replied, "How much to register?" "Let me handle it," she said. Then, without missing a beat, "Love you, Zhou Jianguo. Oldest son, send another 2,000 yuan for this month's living expenses. Your kid needs tutoring." Zhou Jianguo was silent for 3 seconds. "Made 3,000, he said. "Send another 1,000 to mom, buy her something nice to eat." I didn't say a word. In the notes app on my phone, there's a record. Starting from the first year of our marriage, 12 years married, we've transferred money to Zhou Jianjun's family, totaling 173,000 yuan. That amount would be enough for a down payment on a house in the county seat. When Zhou Jianguo helped his mother inside, I was sitting on the couch, scrolling through my phone. As soon as she walked in, Grandma started scanning the room. "Xiaoyun, shouldn't you change the living room light? Why is it so dim in here? And this couch is way too hard. Sitting on it hurts my back." "Jianguo, get your mom a softer one someday." I put my phone away, gave a faint smile, but said nothing. Her eyes landed on my hands. "What are you doing on your phone? You're on it all day long." "I'm checking work messages." I kept my tone calm. "Work?" Grandma's voice pitched a little higher. "You young people these days, always saying you're too busy with work. When I was younger and rising through the ranks, I was back in the fields right after childbirth. Nothing like you all, acting so delicate." Zhou Jianguo quickly stepped in to smooth things over. "Mom, Xiaoyun is an accountant, and she has reports due at the end of the month. She really is busy. Skip ahead." Grandma just sneered. "Isn't that just number crunching?" "What's so busy about that?" I didn't respond. Zhou Jianguo dragged a woven bag into the spare bedroom. When he came back out, he had a smile meant to charm. "Mom, why don't you take a break first? Tonight I'll cook dinner, and make you some braised fish. What can you even cook?" Grandma looked down on him like he was useless. "Let the women handle the cooking." "What kind of man cooks in the kitchen?" she said. Then her eyes turned to me. I looked down at my phone, pretending not to hear. Zhou Jianguo cleared his throat. "Mom, Xiaoyun works hard too. Cooking a meal is no big deal." "Tired?" My mother-in-law's voice sharpened. "What are you tired of? You only get paid a little each month." "Acting like you're some big shot."
Let me tell you.
Once a woman marries, she's supposed to take care of the household. I locked my phone, stood up, and said, "Mom, you just rest." I'm heading out to grab something. "What are you going to buy?" "You want to leave right after I get here?" As the door clicked shut, I heard my mother-in-law muttering inside. "Look at the kind of wife you went and got." No manners at all. Zhou Jianguo's voice was low. "Mom, keep it down." I stood in the hallway, took a deep breath. That screenshot in my phone's gallery, I wasn't ready to reveal it so soon. 8 p.m. I got back home. On the table were 3 dishes and a soup. Zhou Jianguo was busy in the kitchen. Seeing me come in,
Hurry up and call out.
"Xiaoyun, wash your hands before eating." Grandma sat at the head of the dining table. When she saw me, a flicker of displeasure crossed her face.
You've been out shopping all this time?
"Are you deliberately avoiding me?" The supermarket was crowded, and I had to wait in line forever. I placed a bag of fruit on the table. "I bought you some apples. They help lower blood pressure." Grandma glanced at the bag once, but didn't say a word. I sat down to eat. We were just about to share a fish at home when Grandma spoke up. "Xiaoyun, I heard from Jianguo."
That you're planning to send Niu to boarding school.
"Yes." I put down my chopsticks. "She's starting middle school. Why spend so much money on education for a little girl? She's going to get married eventually anyway." My hand paused midair. Zhou Jianguo quickly said, "Mom, things are different now. Girls need to get an education too."
What's the point of studying?
My mother-in-law's voice grew louder. "Look at your sister-in-law. She didn't even finish high school, and yet she's doing just fine now. She had a son. She stands her ground in her husband's family. But you guys, having a daughter was bad enough.
And you spent so much money pushing her to study.
When she gets married off, all that money will go down the drain." I lifted my head and looked straight at my mother-in-law. "Mom, Niu is my daughter. Her education doesn't need anyone else's concern." My mother-in-law's eyes widened in shock. "What did you say?" "I'm her grandmother." "I'm just trying to say a few words, isn't that enough?" "You may be her grandmother," I said calmly. "But from the day Niu was born until now, how many times have you held her? Bought her a single piece of clothing? During New Year's red envelopes, you gave 500 to Jianjun's kids, and just 100 to Niu. And I've never said any of this before. But don't worry about how I raise her." Suddenly, the air went completely silent. Zhou Jianguo opened his mouth. He glanced at me, then looked over at her mother. In the end, he lowered his head and said nothing. The mother-in-law's face flushed bright red. She pointed a finger at me. She hesitated for a long time but couldn't say a word. I turned and walked into the bedroom. I closed the door behind me. The phone screen was lit up. It was a message from my brother-in-law, Zhou Jianjun. The mother-in-law said it was for tutoring classes for her grandson. The money had been transferred. The next day, Zhou Jianjun's wife posted a photo of a new set of skincare products she'd just bought on her social feed. When I took the screenshot, my fingers were shaking, not from anger, from sheer disbelief. I opened my notes app, and added another line to the record after that transaction. March 2024. 3days yuan, supposedly for tutoring classes. But exactly where the money ended up, no one knows. The total had now climbed to 176,000 yuan. At 2 a.m., I was woken up by noises coming from the living room. Grandma's on the phone. Her voice is barely above a whisper, but the thin walls carry every sound. I can catch every single word clearly. I lie there in the dark, eyes wide open, with Zhou Jiangguo's slow, steady voice humming beside me, calm and even. I switch on the recorder, quietly slipping my phone under the pillow. In the living room, Grandma keeps talking. Don't rush about the house, she says. Once I settle in here, we'll wear them down little by little.
Your brother's soft-hearted.
And your sister-in-law, she's nothing. Sooner or later, she'll be out of here. I close my eyes, a faint smile creeping onto my lips. No rush. We'll take it slow. From the very first week Grandma moved in, I already saw through her game. Every morning when I left for work, she'd lie in bed groaning about her back pain. At night when I got home, he'd be sitting on the couch watching TV, cracking sunflower seeds, spitting the shells straight onto the floor. The kitchen sink was piled high with 3 days' worth of dirty dishes. The trash was overflowing, and no one had taken it out. The hallway outside the bathroom was just as neglected. Every day after work, Zhou Jiangguo came home, and the first thing he did was head to the kitchen. His mother-in-law sat in the living room, calling out, "Jiangguo, go pour your mom a glass of water first." Zhu Chengguo hadn't even tied his apron yet, when he was already rushing out to fill a glass. He was so busy, he barely had a moment to catch his breath. On the 5th night, Zhou Jiangguo finally reached his limit. He collapsed onto the couch, utterly drained, and weakly said to me,
Xiaoyun,
"Can you come home a bit earlier and give me a hand? Mom's home alone."
can you get him to cook something?
I was sitting at the dining table, scrolling through my phone, without even looking up. Isn't he dealing with back pain? How could I ask someone who's sick to do housework? What about his back? Zhou Chengguo hesitated, as if holding something back. What is it? I asked, lifting my head. Are you suspecting your mom is faking it? Just then, his mother-in-law came out of the bathroom, overhearing our conversation. Her face immediately fell. I'm pretending to be sick. I've spent my whole life working in the countryside. Now that I'm old, I come to your house hoping for a couple of easy days. But that's not even allowed. Mom, that's not what I meant. Zhou Jiangguo quickly tried to explain. But you do mean that, don't you? Grandma plopped down hard on the couch, her voice growing louder and louder.
Do you think it was easy raising you?
Your dad passed away early, and I raised you and your brother alone. Do you even realize how much hardship I went through? Now that I'm old, when I come to stay with my son for a few days, I'm expected to watch my daughter-in-law's every mood. As she spoke, tears started streaming down her face. Zhu Jiangguo panicked, quickly handing her a tissue. Mom, don't cry. Xiaoyun didn't mean it like that.
What do you mean? Didn't mean it like that.
Grandma wiped her tears, her voice both sharp and cracking. Now I'm seeing things clearly. This guy's word doesn't carry any weight here.
It's your wife's say that counts. If he doesn't want me to stay, I'll leave right now.
I don't care what you all think. Saying that, he was about to stand up. But Zhou Jiangguo quickly grabbed him down. Mom, what are you talking about? This is your home.
Stay as long as you want.
What about your wife, Xiaoyun? Zhou Jiangguo turned to me, his tone sharp with irritation. Can't you just keep it to yourself? I put down my phone, watching this whole scene unfold. Fine, my bad. Mom, please stop crying.
Just rest up.
Mom's sobbing softened a bit, but she was still sniffling. I stood up and headed back to the bedroom, closing the door behind me. Then I opened my phone's notes app. The night's accounts, I remember clearly, was the first time my mother-in-law and I had a direct clash. Jiangguo's position was clear, firmly on his mother's side. What truly broke me was the 10th day. That day, I got off work early. It was only 5:30 when I got home. My mother-in-law was on the phone in the living room. Her voice was loud. She didn't even notice I'd come in. Jianjun, she said. Don't worry. Your brother already said it. There'll be a raise next month. He'll send Mom an extra 2,000 every month then. Yeah, all of it will go into your account. For your nephew's college fund. I froze at the doorstep. Halfway through changing my shoes, I stopped. Your sister-in-law, she said. What the hell does he think he is? Some kind of alien. Yet he wants to interfere in the Zhou family's business.
If he ever crosses me,
I'll have Jiangguo divorce him. The house, the car, they all belong to us. Mom? I called out once. She snapped her head around, nearly dropped her phone. Her expression changed, from terrified to angry. When did you get back? You come in without saying a word. I was born here. Didn't you hear me? I stepped into the living room, set my bag down on the sofa. Mom, you just told Jiangguo to divorce me. My mother-in-law's expression flickered. Then she straightened her posture. What did I just say?
you must have misheard.
I heard it loud and clear. You... She glared at me, then suddenly switched tones. Her voice softened. Xiaoyun, I was just joking with Zhenjun earlier. Don't take it to heart.
Haven't I always been good to you?
When you had the baby. Didn't I even make you chicken soup? I looked at her, but said nothing. When I was having the baby, she went back to her hometown the 3rd day after my postpartum bleeding started. She said it was because the chickens at home weren't tasting right. That bowl of chicken soup was made by her son, Zhou Jiangguo, in the pressure cooker, burnt at the bottom, with a strong burnt smell. Mom, don't worry. I grabbed my bag and headed toward the bedroom. What you said. I won't forget a single punctuation mark. I heard my mother-in-law yelling from behind me. What kind of attitude is that?
Let me tell you.
Acting like this? You're bound to pay for it sooner or later. I closed the door, leaning against it. No, I'm not the one who'll lose out here. On the 15th night, Zhou Jiangguo came out after showering. his face looking grim. Xiaoyun, come here for a sec. I walked over. He pointed at the water heater in the bathroom. Is this water heater broken? Why is the water sometimes hot, then cold? I peeked inside to check. Didn't know. I haven't showered yet today. Then get someone to fix it tomorrow.
Fine.
My mother-in-law stuck her head out from the spare room. The hot water's out. How's mom supposed to shower then? Shu Jiango said. Mom,
I'll get it fixed first thing tomorrow.
just hang in there for now. Hang in? Hang in what? The mother-in-law wasn't happy. My old bones here. I can't stand washing with cold water anymore. Hurry up and boil some water. Fill the basin with hot water. This is how mom used to wash when she was little. Cho Gyangguo sighed. Then he went to the kitchen to boil the water, watching her back as she walked away. A sudden thought crossed my mind.